Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to take some time and hopefully inspire you a little bit to deal with life's disruptions. As I said, my name is Kim Becker, and I am the founder of Hello Gorgeous of Hope Incorporated. I'm a keynote speaker and an award-winning author. I'm a mom to an awesome, soon-to-be 17-year-old son. And, you know, life has thrown us some disruptions, just like it's thrown everybody some disruptions. But through these disruptions, we've learned some different skill sets and some different things to help us cope. And I wanted to come today and to share those disruption, those things that I've learned through my life's disruptions with you, with the hopes that you can take these tools and take them back into your world, and that you can better adjust to some of the disruptions that take place in just everyday life. So the first thing I want to do is actually define what is a disruption. So the disruption is an act or process of disrupting something, a break or an interruption in the normal course or the continuation of some activity, process, etc. So when you think about a disruption, think about disruptions that happen every day, little disruptions maybe, a flat tire on the way to work, you spill coffee on your suit or your dress on the way to a big meeting that day, a child is homesick. There's been many a times where my life has been disrupted because I needed to stay home instead of being in the office. And those are some of the little disruptions that happen that just, it can get us out of sorts because the day doesn't go along the way that we want to have it planned. But then there are some big disruptions, right? Like there's a cancer diagnosis, or maybe you were diagnosed with a disease that's an autoimmune disease that they can't find a cure for. Maybe it's the loss of a loved one, a mother, a child, a house fire. You know, there's some really, really, really big disruptions. So I want to share with you about my disruption. In June of 2017, I lost my husband, and I lost the love of my life. And this was not the way that my life was supposed to go. I'm a young widow. I'm only 52 years old, and Michael and I had made a pact with one another. We had decided that our life would end. We had our love story written all the way to the final chapter. And the final chapter of the love story was that he was going to be 96 and I was going to be 90, and we would be going 100 miles an hour in our red Maserati on the Autobahn, and our demise would come in a fiery crash while we were holding hands. Well, unfortunately, life had other plans, and at the ripe old age of 56, Michael was taken from me. And this disrupted my life in many ways, because not only did I lose my husband, I lost the father to our son, and I lost my best friend, and I lost my business partner. So my world was certainly disrupted, and it was turned upside down. And with that disruption, there comes many feelings that, you know, happen along the way. I was fearful. Of could I keep things going? Although I lost Michael to septic shock. And so there were days towards the end of his life that he was in and out of lucidity. He started talking about things that weren't happening. He wanted me to help him save people that weren't there. And at one point in time, he seemed like I was really with him. And he grabbed a hold of my hands and he said to me, "You have to keep going. You have to keep going." And I said, "Okay, no worries. You know, we're going to keep going, but I need to get you through this, and then we'll keep going." So I promised him that I would keep going. But then after this whole disruption happened and he was taken from me, I had fear of, could I keep going? Could I make it sure, you know, make sure that our son had the high school career that he should have? Could I keep the house standing? Could I keep the car running? There were all of these fears that were inside of me. And then there was the anger that came up. Why was I the one that was a widow? Why was I the one that had my life disrupted? Why was my husband taken from me? You know, if you knew Michael, he was an amazing man that would give the shirt off of his back. There were many times that he would lay in the hospital bed and people didn't know, but he was hooked to IVs, and He had tubes coming out of places that nobody wanted to know about, and he would constantly answer the phone. Hello, gorgeous. This is Mike. How can I help you? So he was such an amazing man. I was very angry at our situation. I didn't understand why we had to go through this. Some people, when their life is disrupted, they can go through depression. There's an anxiety of what the future holds. Overwhelm. I certainly had my fair share of overwhelm, given that I was now a single parent and somebody that was a single business owner where I had a partner all of this time. And you become uncomfortable, right? Because this new disrupted life is a life that you weren't planning on. And so all of a sudden, what was comfortable for you, even Mike and I, we rode to work together every day. So the drive to work was no longer comfortable because I didn't have that person in the passenger seat, or I wasn't sitting in the passenger seat and somebody driving me. And you get tired, right? Because all of a sudden you're in this new life, and that used to take two of you to run. Now there's one of us to run. So there's all different feelings of emotions, but it really is what you do with those feelings or emotions. And what I tried to tell my son during this time, and what I tried to impress on him, is it's really 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. So some of the next few minutes, I want to tell you and share with you about how we reacted to this disruption that happened in our lives. And the one thing that I can say is that, not only 2 years later after my husband died, we're still standing. The house is still standing, the car is still running, the child was able to get his driver's license, and our organization is still thriving. We're still going, we're still growing, we're still helping women, and all along I know that Michael is smiling down on us because this is exactly what he asked us to do, and we continue to do it. But sometimes during these times of disruption, you want to be that superhero, right? You want to take the world on all by yourself, and you don't want anybody's help. Actually, when someone asks you if they can help you, what's your first response? No, I can do it myself. And it's, I don't need your help, right? Because when somebody asks you if you need help, it's implied that you're weak or that you can't do it on your own. But the reverse is also true, right? When you reach out and you want to help somebody, you see that somebody's struggling and they need a little bit of love or they need an extra hug. You want to be able to help them, but when you offer to help them, their first response is no. And so they feel that, again, that you're implying that they're weak and they can't do it on your own. So I want to help you reword that and kind of reframe that word help. When Michael was alive, his dad actually struggled with lung cancer. He was diagnosed with lung and liver cancer about Father's Day weekend. And by the first week in August, he had passed away. And so it was a really intense time. Michael decided that he was going to keep his dad at home. And every time I would say to him, hey, how can I help you today? His response to me was, I'm fine. I'm okay. I don't need your help. But I really wanted to be there, and I wanted to be there for him. And so instead of asking him, how can I help you? I reframed the question and I said, how can I support you? What do you need from me today? What's the best way for me to be able to support you? And it was so interesting, just by changing that question, it changed his response. So I was no longer implying that he needed my help or that he was weak. What I wanted to know was, what's the best way for me to be able to support you? And his response was different. Instead of saying, no, I don't need your help, his response was, you know what, Kim, if you can just make sure that our son is taken care of and that he gets back and forth to school so that I can just take this time and be with my dad today, that would be great. That would be huge. So don't ask people if you can help them. Ask, how can I support you? When you ask a different question, you get a different response. Also, when you're asking a different question to elicit a different response, believe me, there were many a times where I would ask the question, why? Why did I have to go through this? Why was it me that became a widow? How come I'm the one that's in this position right now? Why was Michael's life ended? Why couldn't he have another 20 or 30 years to help change the world? And so I found myself, when I would ask that question, why, I just came to a dead end. It was not a productive question because there weren't any answers. Nobody can tell you why. It was his time on this earth was done. He had fulfilled everything that he was supposed to fulfill, and that's why God decided to take him home. But when you're left here standing and you're holding the bag and you've got the world on your shoulders and you're trying to make sure that the business is running and that your son has a great life going forward without his dad, that didn't seem to be a good answer for me. So instead of asking the question why, I started to ask a different question. And this is what I want you to think about. Don't ask why, ask, what can I learn from this? So I can't say that I received an immediate answer, but it was certainly a more peaceful question to ask. I remember the last month of Michael's life was the most difficult. Our son was graduating from 8th grade, and we had offered to do the video for the 8th grade graduation, and I was trying to keep all of this up and be an advocate for Michael at the same time. And so I would ask the question all the time, what am I supposed to learn to this? What am I supposed to learn from this? And it wasn't apparent at the time, but I suppose what I was supposed to learn from that was I was supposed to learn to do things by myself. I was supposed to learn that it wasn't going to be the two of us all the time with our son. It was going to be that I was going to have to take the helm on this and lead the business by myself and to lead our family, which would be now a family from 3 to 2 by ourselves. So I want to encourage you to ask that question. Instead of asking why, start asking, what can I learn from this? You know, when I was asking questions all the time, I was also trying to find the answer, but I wanted to find the yes. I didn't want necessarily to hear why I couldn't do something. I wanted to find the answer of why I could do something. And maybe it wasn't the way that I thought it was. You know, after Michael passed away, I had decided that Seth and I needed a break. As I said, the last few months of his life were very intense. He was sick with a lot of infections. It was in and out of hospitals. And that's hard for a young boy to understand why he had to spend so much of his summer in the hospital. And so I wanted to do something to just show Seth that normalcy would return. So I grabbed my sisters and a couple of my brother-in-laws, and we took Seth down to Florida where we could visit one of the amusement parks down there. I couldn't be on the beach. I couldn't have too much time by myself, but I really needed to just show Seth that normalcy would return. And so when I was here in our community, and I visited a respite home for medically fragile children. And when I was taking a tour and talking with the director, she was telling me that when people come in, they always tell them what they can't do, right? This child, you know, this is the medicine that they have to take, and they can't get in the water, and they can't be without their breathing machine, and they can't be without their oxygen. And as I stood there and I talked with the director said, yes, but can they take a bubble bath? Can they go on a swing? Can we take them for a ride? And a mother had complimented that director, and she said, no matter what happens, you always try and find the yes. And I thought, you know, that's what we've done these last 2 years, is no matter what the situation is, maybe it doesn't work the way that it was supposed to. Maybe it doesn't work like it used to when Mike and I were partnered together and it was just the two of us. But it works differently now because we always look for the yes. Maybe it's not that Mike is at the helm with me anymore, but we found ways to continue on with the organization. We found ways to continue on our daily life. And we found ways to make sure, I found ways to make sure that my son's life is normal as possible. Is it different? Yes. It's certainly not the normal that it used to be, but we're finding a new normal. And through that new normal, we are really working hard to find the yes. We did a makeover several years ago, and it was on a woman that was battling lung cancer. And we did her makeover in the mobile day spa. And I remember we surprised her in a local restaurant, and she actually didn't think that we were coming for her. And we greeted her with a great big hello, gorgeous. And the mobile day spa was sitting in the parking lot. And we took her outside and started her makeover, and she received everything, you know, a manicure and a haircut. We did her makeup, and we worked with the clothier to get her a new outfit. And part of the services that we provide is a pedicure. And we put the water in the foot bath, and we had her soak her feet. And she said, now, you know, the chemo is not done justice to my toenails. She said, I really don't have many left. And my stylist that was there at the time said, that's okay. We're just going to soak your feet. And then when we get done soaking your feet, we're going to take your feet out and we're going to do a really nice foot massage on you. And as we sat there and the woman received the foot massage, she had these big tears running down her face. And she said, you know, it's been a really long time since somebody's touched me like that. You know, it's not the big things in life. It's the little things that can make a difference. It's the little things to help find the yes. Maybe it's just a smile at the person as you go through the drive-through. Maybe it's beating the person at the checkout counter to say, have a nice day before they can have a nice day because they really weren't having a nice day. Maybe it's just providing a touch or massage or a hug for someone that needs it during a time where you didn't know that they needed it, but they really did. They just needed someone to make them feel special. Now, if you reach out to somebody and you want to do something nice for them, And in the process of finding the yes, you actually find a no. So let's say you work really hard and you want to do something nice for somebody, and no comes up over and over and over again. You know, I used to hate the word no. I can't believe that those two little words actually were the things that would deter me from trying something new, because I hated to hear the word no. You know, it's different when I was a salon owner. You know, I've owned a business in both the profit and the nonprofit world, and I was a salon owner, and money would get a little tight, and I could run a retail sale. I would just say, Kim's in a bad mood. All the retail is 20% off, and that would generate some additional income for us. Or let's say that I decided to take a few hours at night, and I would add a couple of haircuts or a couple of highlights. You know, I had control over my schedule, but I also had some control over my income. Well, when I switched careers and went from the profit world to the nonprofit world, I have no control over this at all. I can't reach into people's pockets. There isn't anything. We do these makeovers for free, so there isn't anything that I can do. I can't make you take out your wallet and give me money. And part of the reason that I hated to even ask people for money was because I was fearful that I was going to hear the word no. I didn't want to hear the word no. I want you to like me. I want to be your best friend. I want to smile at you. I want you to smile back. I want you to see something in me that just makes you take out your wallet and that you want to hand me money. But that's not always the case. And so I had to switch the meaning of the word no to something that I could really wrap my brain around. And I've used this, and I want to teach this phrase to you, and I'm hoping that it will change the meaning of the word no to you. And that is that no's not personal, it's protection. And I want you to really think about that. No's not personal, it's protection. What if somebody telling you the word no meant that you were being protected from something down the road, that you being associated with that person or that business, that it would have put you in harm's way? You know, I think about that we've had women where we've called the nominator and we want to do a makeover on them, and the nominator is really excited, but the husband says no. Or the mother says no. They won't allow us to give this woman a makeover. And what I try to explain to them is that they could really use this pampering. This is something that just get them to me. I really encouraging them, you know, oh, she's too sick. Yes, but if you can just get her to me, I'm telling you that 3 hours that we're there, it makes a world of difference. And she'll get the strength that she needs to continue on, and she'll get the encouragement that she needs to keep going. But they continue to say no. And so I've had to learn to let that go. Maybe I'm being protected from something. Maybe during a visit, something would happen that, you know, that would harm her, or that would stop her treatment. Or maybe it's just not the person that we're supposed to take care of. Maybe we're being told no on this person because the next person in line needs this service more. Maybe she needs more of that encouragement. You know, I really had to work hard on this to learn that no's not personal, it's protection. Last year at one of our events, you know, we rely a lot on sponsorships, dollars, and we rely on donations. And we had a sponsor that came forward, and they were going to be one of our big sponsors, and they were an event sponsor, and we put their name on the favor that was being given away for this event. And about a week before the event, they decided that they didn't want to sponsor us anymore, and they asked for their money back. And I felt so conflicted, because I thought, now here it is, that was money that we were going to put to good use, that was going to help us help more women that were battling cancer. And I had no recourse. I didn't want to start a social media, you know, negative war or whatever. And so I had to tell myself, no's not personal, it's protection. Maybe we were being protected from something by being affiliated with this particular organization. So that's what we did, was we gave the money back, and I hung true to that. We were being protected, and who knows what'll come, you know, down the line. You know, one of the other things that I really want to impress upon you, and I will tell you that it's a game changer when you go into meetings. You know, this world this day is so self-absorbed. So many times it seems like people are all out for themselves. I never leave a meeting, and I never leave a business meeting without asking this powerful question. And that is, what can I do for you? You know, people are stunned. They're taken aback by the fact that you want to ask them what you can do for them, instead of standing there with a handout and asking them, what can you do for me? Seems to be the question that most people ask, right? But if you really want to stun people, ask somebody, what can I do for you? And they may say nothing, but they'll say nothing with a smile on their face because they're so tickled that you even thought enough to ask that question. So make sure that you ask somebody, what can I do for you? You know, I want to tell you that Michael made an amazing impact on this world. He had a degree from Purdue University, and he wanted to be an archaeologist, and he wanted to make sure that he found a big dig. He wanted to make history is what he wanted to do. And it ended up that about 2 weeks after he died, one of our congresswomen, he honored Michael's life. She honored Michael's life on Capitol Hill. And so Michael didn't get up every day and ask, how can he make history? He got up every day and asked, how can I make an impact? And that's what he did. And by making an impact and asking that question about making an impact, he actually made history. And so by being honored on Capitol Hill, on the congressional floor, he is going down in the history books for that 1 minute for the impact that he had. So I want to ask you, what kind of impact are you making? And by learning some of these, you know, what can I learn for this instead of asking why, and finding the yes, and what can I do for you? You'll be amazed at the impact that you'll be able to have on people in this world and in your community. So I want to just say thank you for joining me today. I want to make sure that you know about all the resources that we have. If you want to, I'd love to invite you to follow us on all our social media pages. We have a YouTube channel. If you watch the YouTube channel, make sure you've got Kleenex with you, because we've got videos of some before and afters and some of the amazing makeovers that we've done. We've got a Facebook page. I actually have a Facebook page called Kim Becker Inspires, and I try and keep things that are on there that are uplifting and inspiring. You know, this world is filled with so many negative things. I really try and make it that we've got some good things that fill this world with amazing individuals. So if you go to our Facebook page, you can find that on Kim Becker Inspires. You go to the Hello Gorgeous page. We're on Instagram. And again, a lot of our Instagram stories that are there, they spotlight the women that we serve. You know, Hello Gorgeous is an organization that I started. Gosh, we're in our 13th year now. And if you don't know anything about Hello Gorgeous, I'd like to invite you to find more information about Hello Gorgeous. And again, you can find that on our website, which is www.hellogorgeous.org. And Hello Gorgeous is a nonprofit organization that provides complimentary makeovers and cosmetic education to women battling cancer. Each of the women are nominated by family and friends. We show up unannounced with candy and flowers, and we roll out a red carpet, and we greet her with a great big hello, gorgeous. Who wouldn't want that? Even if you're not battling cancer, wouldn't you want somebody to come and greet you with a great big hello, gorgeous? And then she's treated to a full day of beauty. She receives a manicure, a pedicure, a facial. If she needs a wig, we provide one. If she's ready for cut and color, we do that. We work on her makeup. You know, makeup is such an important part because during cancer treatment, so many times your skin tone changes. So your favorite red lipstick doesn't look good on you anymore, or your favorite apricot blush, it doesn't go well with your skin tone. So we work really hard to make sure that we do a makeover and we do her makeup, and then we use the products that are good for her skin tone right now, not what it was 2 months ago, but where is she right now? And then we work with a clothier to give her a new outfit and to plan a big reveal party for her afterwards. And to me, the reveal party is one of the most important parts of what we do, because I found that when women are diagnosed with cancer, people don't know what to say, so they say nothing and stay away. And I can't imagine that. But I think that it goes back to part of the disruption at what we talked about earlier. Their life is disrupted. But because her life has been disrupted with cancer, your life has been disrupted because now your friend has cancer. And this person that used to go with you all the time and, run to flea markets or run to Target with you, she can't do that anymore because her life is now all about cancer treatment. It's all about chemotherapy sessions and radiation treatments. And so your life has been disrupted. So because your life has been disrupted, what I found is that people stay away because they don't know what to say. They're fearful that she's going to look different. They're fearful that you're not going to recognize her. You're fearful that when you walk up to her that you don't have the right words and you're going to say something dumb. And so what happens is that she needs the support system, but they're not around anymore. they're gone because they don't know what to say. So the reveal party is the most important part to me, because all of a sudden we've taken this woman that doesn't know how to dry her eyebrows on and doesn't know how to put her makeup on, and we've made everything right. We've shown her how to put her makeup on. We've worked with the clothier to get a new outfit. She looks and feels like $1 million. And now we walk her into this amazing room filled with all of her friends and family that are there to greet her with a great big hello, gorgeous. And you know what? She looks normal. So the disruption that was felt by her cancer treatment is no longer that big of a disruption, because she really looks normal. And because she looks normal, you know how to approach her now. You know how to say, hey, you're my friend. You look like you've always looked. Let me give you a big hug. And that's what she needs in order to continue through this journey. So by following us on our social media pages, you'll see a ton of before and after pictures. You'll find some stories of these amazing women that we've had the opportunity to serve. And you'll find ways that you can help by nominating your loved ones, spreading the word about the affiliate program, where we're looking for salons to partner with us so that we can continue to make a bigger impact with the women that we serve. So I want you to think about disruptions, and I want you to think about the big disruptions and the little disruptions. And I want you to go back and ask these questions: that how can you make a difference by asking better questions, by finding a different definition in the word no. If you have any questions or comments about this show, more information about Hello Gorgeous, I want to invite you to reach out to me or contact me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org. If you want to know more about Hello Gorgeous, you can find that information on our website, which is www.hellogorgeous.org. Thank you for joining me today on Hello Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. I hope I inspired you just a little bit today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and until next time, stay gorgeous.
Another beautiful day, walking in the sunshine, spending the time with you. Last night we had a good time, dancing in the moonlight and loving the night away. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like without you. I can't imagine that.